Inspector Kev, when you need a fix, get Inspector Kev. Get Inspector Kev.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Inspector Kev. In this episode, we're going to be trying to protect our granite edges in our sinks. As you can see here, there's a lot of chips and dents, and basically this is coming from pots and pans and maybe cups and glasses that hit the edges of the sink when you're washing dishes or putting dishes into the sink. And to fix this, or to slow down the damaging of our granite, we're going to use some silicone tape. Silicone is very good at protecting your surface. It's going to give you a nice little rubber bumper at the edge of your sink. And silicone is very sticky, so it's going to stick real well, and it's also waterproof. But before you apply it, make sure you get yourself a pair of scissors, and also make sure you have silicone tape, actual silicone tape. And what we're going to do, we're just going to go ahead and lay the silicone tape out around the edges of our sink. And I've already put it to the back of the sink, and this time I'm just going to put it to the front of the sink. And since I have an underhanging sink, I like to make sure the tape is all the way snug up under the granite so that it's touching the sink, and then I'm just going to fold that back over the top. And you can trim the edges. I usually trim it from the bottom if I'm going to trim it, but make sure you're trimming the excess tape and not trimming on top of your granite or against your granite frame, because that could of course damage your granite itself. Now you see I'm going very slowly because the tape is very sticky, so if you don't, to have less fingerprints, make sure you try to keep your finger at the bottom, but sometimes it's going to be impossible. But just make sure you go very slowly. I like to make sure mine is done very professionally, so I'm going to take my time to get it done. The tape is very sticky, so once it sticks, it's usually going to wrinkle up or bubble. And then that's another situation that we're going to take care of later in this video. So right now, just making sure I get it all nice and snug up under the sink. And like I said, I'm going to begin to slowly fold it up and connect it to the top of the granite counter. And by doing so very slowly, you're going to prevent bubbles from getting into the tape. Because sometimes you will get bubbles under the tape, but there's a way to get bubbles out. So I'm going to show you that towards the end of this video. So basically, I'm just going to go to the length of the tape, make sure it's on, nice and smooth. Like I said, it's really sticky, so once it's on, it's going to be really difficult to pull it back up to make adjustments. So make sure you're getting it in there just properly. I mean, this is pretty fun. It's pretty therapeutic as well. So getting the tape on there, rubbing it all smooth. And again, like I said, I take my time. I like to make sure I get it on properly the first time, because taking it off is going to be a waste of tape. Because you really can't reuse the tape once you take it back off, because you're going to have a lot of wrinkles, a lot of bubbles, and really the stickiness is going to be degraded somewhat once you remove the silicone from your granite. And I should have said this at the beginning, but make sure your counter is dry, because if it's dry, it's going to stick much better. And now that we have it all on, now I'm going to get myself a, for what I'm using is a coaster, but you can use anything, a credit card, or anything that's going to be pretty hard and smooth, and make sure you get those edges on there nice and smooth. Right now I'm just removing any bubbles or any wrinkles that may be in the tape. And that's it. If applied appropriately, you won't even see any wrinkles, you won't even know it's there. And so join me next time.
Inspector Kev, when you need a fix, get Inspector Kev.